This season marks 150 years of college football. To celebrate the anniversary, the Patriot League Network is taking a look at some of the incredible leaders of today. These Patriot League graduates all have unique stories, but share a similarity in establishing leadership and character on the gridiron. Today, the 2012 Patriot League Football Scholar-Athlete of the Year, Chris Looney, is joining me in the PLN studio. The 2013 Colgate graduate has since gone on to get his Juris Doctor at Yale. He's taught English overseas in Burkina Faso, served as a research analyst in Turkey, and in a few days, Chris is starting his new job at the Pentagon. Chris, first off, I want to let everyone in on this secret. We're pre-taping this interview. We're recording this on Friday the 13th, also known as Colgate Day. There's rich history and tradition with the number 13 in Hamilton. What are some of your fondest memories as a student athlete at Colgate?
So as a student athlete, I would say the one that sticks out is my senior year when we went down to Lehigh in what was effectively the championship game, and we were able to knock them off. I get the exact total score, but I think they were ranked 5th in the nation at that point, and we were unranked. And having not won a Patriot League championship in any of my previous years at Colgate, being able to win one my senior year and go out on top was one of the more satisfying things I was able to do while at Colgate.
Quickly, after your graduation from Colgate, you move all the way to Turkey. You work as a research analyst reporting along the Syrian border. How did you get to that point?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story. I had moved to DC after graduation and was working at a think tank. And what I was doing was basically mapping the Syrian conflict, and there were different rebel groups that were controlling towns across the entire country. And through that process, I was meeting with folks, and one of the guys I met with, who ended up being my boss in Turkey, he had just started a research organization there, and I was speaking with him and ended up getting a job and moving over there for about 3 or 4 months. And I just basically, I remember when I showed up, I asked him what my job would be, and he just said, go find something interesting and write about it. So that's what I did for 3 or 4 months. And from there, I was off to Peace Corps.
That's right, so your international work continued. You were in the Peace Corps for 2 years, living in Burkina Faso, teaching preschool. What was the most rewarding aspect of your time there working with those kids?
I think just seeing the preparation, because kids would start in 1st grade and school would be entirely in French. But before that, in my village, most kids would speak a local language called Moray. And so a lot of what we were doing in preschool was introducing the kids to the French that would be used in primary school to teach them. And seeing kids start to pick stuff up, learn the alphabet, start to be able to write, and develop the kind of skills that would make them successful moving forward was the most rewarding aspect of that.
After that, you end up coming back to the United States, attending law school at Yale. What drove you back to the classroom for a career shift?
Yeah, I mean, I had majored in international relations and history at Colgate, and I kind of afterwards wanted to see both the developmental side and the security side of international relations. And so I did that through Turkey on the security end, and then Burkina in the development end. And what I saw was how law sort of impeded, it sort of bled into both of those disciplines. So I decided to go back to law school, and I think it was a great choice. And now I'm excited to have graduated, finally finished the bar, which was not the most fun thing I've ever done in the world. But now that that's over, I get to start work on Monday, and I'm very excited for that.
Now your next challenge, working for the Department of Defense. What is your level of excitement for this next chapter starting here in just a few days?
My level of excitement is very, very high. I'll be working in the Deputy General Counsel for International Affairs Office. So I'll be working on issues of international law, mostly dealing with the Middle East.
Reflecting back a bit on your Colgate education, one of the major aspects is this liberal arts education. How would you say that this well-rounded education, majoring in international relations like you mentioned, how did that allow you to make this unique career path?
Yeah, I think the most salient aspect of that as it related to being successful in law school was the amount of reading and writing I had to do at Colgate. I remember my senior year finishing up like multiple theses and just sitting in the library writing paper after paper. And that experience sort of tracked really well with what was expected in law school, especially with clinical work, when I had to turn around memos in like a day or two, and you're writing very quickly, but having to present it to an audience that will be reading every word and expecting the precision of language that is necessary in law. Those are the kind of skills I developed at Colgate that really stay with me to this day.
Chris. Thank you so much for sharing your story and all of the great things you've accomplished since you've graduated Colgate. Appreciate you taking the time today.
Of course. Thank you very much.